So the goal, the idea with the joiner, and I'm only, by the way, jointer, just to let everybody know this is a very dangerous tool. Don't get any ideas about this.
This is why I'm getting a lesson on it today, because I'm scared of this machine.
There are lots and lots of things that'll rip your fingers right off. Right?
Yeah, no, that'll pull you right down to the wrist in no time at all.
So the idea with a jointer is when you get a rough piece of wood, it gives you the ability to make that piece of wood flat on one side and square. So you'll end up with one flat edge and one square edge. In this case, we're going to use this as a means to join two pieces of wood together. We want to stick these two pieces of wood together, but we don't want them to have that weird angle.
Hence the joint and jointer. We want to join these together.
Yeah. So we're going to basically pretend that this piece of wood is here. You know what? Let's not pretend.
You got a square? There's a DFM one over there.
No, this is a rough. This now is
Please don't cut yourself.
No, not on screen. Not on camera. All right, this is now let's call this a rough piece of wood, okay?
Rough hewn.
It's rough hewn. It's not, it didn't come out of this actually came out of a planer earlier that I flattened out. But let's just say it's rough, and we can very clearly tell, which angle is it? It's this one. We can see on this side, that's not a 90 degree. Where's the camera on this thing? There it is. Oh, there we go. That is most definitely not a 90 degree angle. It's making me queasy just looking at it.
There's a little
So
going on.
What we're going to do is we're going to flatten one side, and we're going to then square it to the other side. So again, this thing will kill you. There's a depth of cut over here. There are two wheels. I never touch this wheel. Don't worry about this wheel. This wheel essentially does nothing, let's just say. Makes it easier to just approach it as if it already works. Depth of cut wheel here, or depth of cut measurement here that'll tell you how deep you are cutting. And back here a little lock that'll let you move this thing up and down. Essentially, to be honest with you, I kind of leave this thing set at about a 32nd of an inch, because anything more than that, and I feel like I'm just taking off too much wood, I want to sneak up on it.
You don't want to burn through the wood. Or get the blade too hot.
No, don't worry about the blade. The blade, it's a helical cutter head. It's awesome. No, don't worry about that. But I just don't want to hog off too much wood, right? Because
it gets dangerous then.
All right, let me grab a. Nope. Let me grab a bush stick. Bush block.
He's getting a bush stick.
Just narrating.
Yep.
All right.
That's what I do from time.
So, first thing I want to figure out is grain direction. Now, underneath here, this guy is spinning at me, coming in this direction, right? How do we keep doing that?
So I can show what you're doing.
This thing's coming at me in this direction. I'm going to be moving the wood across it like this. It's going to be taking off chunks of wood here. So I want to figure out...
And as you can see, the guard here only moves in one direction only. Right. It opens this way. So you can't put anything this way.
But anyway,
it's a safety note, man.
So this, you'll feel which direction the grain moves in. This one's changing across the whole thing, but essentially you want to get to the point where the majority of your grain is exiting. This way I would mark this guy would be like, grain kind of comes out that way. So when I joint it, grain coming out this way, I want the cutting knives to come
with the grain.
With the grain.
Yeah, with the grain.
So that I'm not pulling and ripping them up. So, first step. Step one, loud noise.
Not that loud.
So, keeping this flat on here like this to as much an extent as possible. I don't worry about this fence at all yet. As soon as I transition over the cutting head, all of my pressure is now focused on keeping this piece of wood flush with this surface here. So I'm going to basically kind of let up a little bit here. This is just a push. Most of my pressure is down on the piece of wood here. One pass. right? So now I've got a nice flat piece of wood there.
Very nice.
Okay. And so the next step is, now you notice, what did I do when I did that? You notice how it's not parallel to the other face anymore? It was before. It's actually a little bit more pronounced on this side. You can actually see it a little bit better. So the jointer is not going to let you make things parallel to each other. It's one face that's a reference of itself. It's not. So if you want to make this surface and this surface parallel, that's when the planer comes into play. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this surface here that we've just created, and we're going to make a square surface here. So this has already been set up to be square to this surface. I'm not referencing back here. Jeff's in the back sneezing up a fit. He might even be, who knows what he's doing back there, but anyway. We're gonna take the face that we just did. You all right? You back?
Like the stage again.
This is the thing, folks.
Go ahead.
Be careful. Sneezing. Thumbs up, Buttercup. All right, we made this surface flat, right? And now what we gotta do is make this weird angle thing square to it. So what we're gonna do is the one that we just did, now we are using this fence. So we're gonna move
Now
this
that's
fence.
flat.
Because now it's flat. So we're gonna move this fence to a spot like that. We're gonna lock it off, okay? And the one that we just made flat, what was it? This one, right? We're gonna take that, we're gonna lay it right up against here, and we're now pushing more against this. But again, same thing. As soon as I transition over to here, I'm gonna put, see, this is the thing, this is a little bit of an annoyance. This particular, it's got this little plate here. Sometimes it sticks, it's annoying. Anyway. I'm referencing against this and just taking off small slices. But again, as soon as I transition over the cutter head, all of my force is now focused on locking that in, and we now have a surface that's square. Now, here's an interesting thing. If you want to join these two together and you want to make sure that they're perfectly square, I put a little mark, so I know I'm working with the same surface both times, right? So I take these two and I want them to join together. Now there may be a little bit of introduced angle here, so if I want these to join together and be sure to be square and flat to each other and not this way or this way too much, I come in and I go, my mark is not on the fence. One pass. Lay that down. Now my mark is on the fence. And if I lay these two down, gets a nice angle, nice joint together. That is always, it's always going to be flat, right? Or not flat, I should say. Whatever angle is introduced by the jointer is going to be
The same on both of those sides.
right. It's going to be negated out by the fact that you did it with two separate reference surfaces, so you'll get something that lays together with flatness, like you can see at the bottom here.
Yep.
Because we didn't parallelize them, you can
We
see
can
that
glue
there's
them up
definitely-
now, and
but we
then
could glue them
in
up
a planer.
and that would be flat, and then we can throw this in a planer and make them parallel to each other, and you got jointer. Jointer. I
Jointer.
barely know her. Thank you. I'm gonna enjoy a soda now that I'm done with all the machinery that's gonna lose me a finger.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Like and
Steal this
subscribe.
Marshmallows. Yeah,
Like and
hit the
subscribe.
buttons
There's buttons
and stuff.
You
Do
know
that.
what to do.
Thank you. Bye.